Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and this amazing series. I'm Aditya. In this series, we are creating a chat application using MERN stack, and in this video, we are going to see the concept of refresh token. So without any further ado, let's begin. Right. So in the last video, we created JWT token, which had the access of 1 hour, which was something like this. And in this video, we will change it and do it to, let's say, 30 seconds. This means that after 30 seconds, the token will get expired. And does it mean that the user has to log in again, going to the login screen, putting email and password after every 30 seconds? Well, thankfully not, because we have something known as refresh token. So what will refresh token will do is it will take so we will send to the client side both access and refresh token, and when the client knows that okay, the access token has expired, so it will make a request to have a new access token, and at that time it will send the refresh token, and this refresh token will be useful in giving a new access token. Okay, so for instance, after 30 seconds the user will still continue surfing over your website, but behind the scene you might make an API call, or you can make an API call. It depends, like on circumstances. It depends like how you want to do it. It's totally up to you. So you just need to make an API call for a refresh URL, which will give you a new token. Now, how to create an access token? Well, refresh token. It's pretty simple. We just follow the same principle of access token, but instead of so here we have our new secret. So if I have just created a new refresh secret, so I'll just copy this. It's just again some random string. So here we will go and just paste it over here like this. And this thing will have a longer expiry time than access token. So these both are there, and we will rename this as generate refresh token. So we have the refresh token, perfect. Now next thing we need to do is generally this refresh token is stored somewhere in your database. So it could be a Redis or it could be like a cached, it depends. For now, we will keep it in our MongoDB. Okay, so in the MongoDB, I have created the models, the refresh token model, same like creating other message model or user model, refresh token schema, which has only the token, nothing else, and no controller because it will be handled by the user controller only. So next thing we need to do is we have the refresh token. That's great. Now one thing to notice here is you can do this all like authorization and granting new access token on one server, or you can have separate servers like microservices. So it's totally up to you, whichever you prefer according to your problem and your circumstance of your application. So for now, we will just keep it on one server. So we have the generate refresh token. So we'll go to our login and registration. So here we will create const refresh token equal to generate refresh token with the same email user.email and UUID with user.uuid. Now as we need to save the token after we create it over here, so I will make it as a await call. I will tell you in a moment. So here we will make it as await because this is going to go in database as well. So here we will do something like this. So this will be const rt, which is refresh token. Then we will say const refresh token instance, which will be new refresh token, which will be imported over here. That's great. And this will take in the user. So not user, actually this will take in the token. So it will be like token rt, and this will go as an await refresh token dot save, and this will go as an async, and at the same time this will return the token. Okay, now this token will come over here, and then we will send to the user over here. So we'll say token, our refresh token will just do normal nomenclature equal to or colon r token. Now the safest way as I read on some articles, they prefer to store these tokens on cookie from the server side with HTTP flag. So how to do that? Well, if I go to the documentation of Express, there in response.send, response.cookie, we are able to do it. So we will just copy this piece of code, or rather we will just understand the piece of code first before copying it. So this is the key of that cookie. This is the value of that cookie, the expiry time of that cookie, and do we need to set it with HTTP only or what? So if you see, the cookie here will be removed after 8 hours. So this is like in seconds. So 8 into 36000. So there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we keep on counting in seconds, it should be around 8 into 60, means 8 hours into 60 means it makes a minute. Then the next 60 will make it into seconds. Then the next 60 will make it into, so that after that would be milliseconds. Actually, it's actually milliseconds. So the answer should be in milliseconds over here because it's 16, 60 and then into 100. So yeah, 16 to 6360. Oh, we are testing our math skill. Yeah. So yeah, it's in milliseconds. So we need to have this value in milliseconds. So let's do that quickly. So let's take this thing from here. Let's put it over here. So we'll put the the access token actually, or we can put the both, doesn't matter. So this and this, actually this and this will come over here. And what we are going to do is, so this will be access token. So we can keep bearer space token as it is, or we can just keep the token. Depends, like if we are reading the token, as we are reading from authorization header, so that's fine. We can get from the client and then just put it over here. So here I'm going to put the token, and here instead of hours, I'm going to put it exactly to the time which it expires. So it expires after around 30 seconds if I'm correct. So let's put this time in the env file, so we don't need to do it again and again. So token access token expiry. So this will be 30 seconds. And then over here we can do something like this. Let's put backtick, and then we can do process.env dot access token expiry, if I'm correct. Yeah, access token expiry, yeah. And then after we have the access token expiry, we can do the same thing over here. So this thing will be so 36 is this is into seconds, so we just need to do it into milliseconds. So it will be process.env in dot, okay, we don't need complex syntax because it's, and access token expiry into 1000. So this is for our access token, and we can remove this. So it will just say that after 30 seconds it will be removed. So we don't need for now because we are sending it straight away after here. So this can come here, and the other option it can have is HTTP only, and this we can set it to true. So if I go back again in the documentation, you will see like in the options I can check for HTTP only to be set as true. So that's great. Now let's go back again over here, do this, format the code, and let's copy this as well from here and save it on our login site, or paste it on our login site over here. Now if you want to store the refresh token, that's fine as well. We can do that here first. So this will be refresh token, and this time instead of expiry time, so we can also have the expiry time for refresh token here. Oops. So this will be 1 year, so that we need to just change it over here. So it will be this should be refresh. Let's go back over here, change this to template string syntax process.env.refresh token expiry, and that will be in year. And now to convert that into year, okay, so this is going to be a bit challenging. So here we can put it refresh token into year, and then into 365 days, into 24 hours, into that 3600 value. So 36123. So that would be our refresh token value. So we can do the same thing over here. So here we can save it like refresh token, and that should be pretty good to go. So we have the refresh token, we have the access token, it's sent in the database, and now let's test it out. So if we go to our Postman, for that we just need to refresh the server because we changed the env values, and then make a request. So we got two tokens, refresh token and the access token. Now if I use this token, wait for 30 seconds, and now try to use this token, and if I make another, sorry, here only I can say message, and here's message, and if I do send and authorization, if I put it, guess 30 seconds might have passed. So if we send it, it says invalid text. Okay, let's pass some text till that 30 seconds will be passed as well. So here we can say text blah 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 and unauthorized. That's perfect. So now do we want the user to relog in again? No, we want the token to be refreshed. So what we are going to do is we are going to create here another function. So that function will be function grant new token, and this will take request, response, and it will be okay. Now what this is going to do is it will first check if the refresh token is valid. If it is valid, then it will grant a new token. Okay, so we will go to the authorize section of this, copy this piece of code, but not exactly as it is. We need to make changes here and there. I will tell you where to make changes. So here what we are going to do is, so instead of, so here we just take the token from request.body.token. So we'll be sending it in the body token. Okay, so the refresh token will be here. Let's make it R token so we know that it's a refresh token. And once we will verify the R token with the refresh token secret, and if it's correct, so we just say unauthorized. If it's not correct, if it's correct, instead of putting the request, putting it like this, we will just send back new token. So we will say const token equal to, and we will generate a new token. So that new token will be generated over here. Over here. And once it is generated, so we can also like we need to pass the user actually in that, and here we have the decoded value. So we will say const token to generate token, and this time it will be email will be decoded dot email, and uuid will be decoded dot uuid. It's same if I am correct. So if I go over here, so decoded uuid, okay, that's great. Also, we need to make sure that this token exists in the database, so we can add it as a middleware when we get the request, so that's not a problem. So that's pretty much it. So token, this is token, and then we just do response.send. So we can also put it in the cookie. So let's go in and copy this code because this is all we need. So let's go over here and we don't have to put this as a token, so we'll just put it as a not as a refresh token but just as a token, and the expiry time will be whatever the expiry time is in millisecond, and this would be refresh token access token expiry. And yeah, this should be pretty much it. So here we will check that token is there. If it's not there, we send 403 on the front end. So if there is 403, then we need to log out the user from our front end app and ask them to log in again. But if it's correct, we just send back the token so that they can use it in the next thing. So we don't need this. We don't need this. We just need to pass the token. That's perfect. Now let's export this function. So exports dot generate refresh token, or rather grant new token equal to grant new token, and then in our route of user.js, over here we can have another route just after login, which will be router.post refresh token. This will check for body. Inside that it will check for token, and here it will check custom. It will check for an async function, and this will check for token, and it will check first if that token exists. So we need to do const token details equal to await, and we can just get the token over here. So we can do something like this: const refresh token from equal to require, and what's the route we have? So we have it in the models. So we are in the routes right now, so double directory up, go to models and go to refresh token model, then refresh token dot find one token where token is token, execute token details. If not token details, then we just return promise.reject invalid token. In the same way, we will need to also do it in our controller over here. We just need to, to be on safer side, we just need to do something like this: const error equal to validation result request, and if not errors dot is empty, then we will say return response dot status 403, and we will say JSON errors with a message unauthorized. Perfect. Now let's test it out. So we will go for login first. Let's go for login. So user login. Let's go over here. We have the refresh token. That's great. Now let's use this refresh token for making a new request. Okay, so we just forgot to connect first to make a request, so that was the mistake. And also we were just change our token to our token because we are taking in the body as our token. So now, and here it is, we have a new access token. So that's great, that's perfect. So now we can use this access token to make new request to our server. So that's all about the refresh token. In the next video, we are gonna see the concept of pusher, and we will just introduce, actually I was supposed to introduce in this video, but I'll just keep it for the next video. So see you in the next video. Goodbye.